Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm back at it on this baler again today. Made a lot of progress on it over the last few weeks. A lot more to go. Lots and lots of little things that need to be done, but some big things, right? You guys, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know what I'm all about. I'm not about restoring these kinds of things to factory original or to show quality. I'm trying to build functional pieces of equipment out of these old piles of junk, and that's where I'm at right now. This baler's in worse shape than I thought it was, but we're making progress slowly and steadily. It's time to move on. We got this plunger out, and it's a bit of a mess, right? I mean, it's somebody chained up on there and tried to pull it back and bent that, so that's all bent up. That weld's broken. You can see it's bowed out a little bit right there. I've got more slop in that bearing than I like. I bent this bar right here. You can see is that we've got a bend right in here. And let's see, these wear pads, this is the top side. They're worn down flush almost to the plow bolt. There you should have something a little bit more like this right here, where you have some more wear material and then a lip down to the plow bolt, right? You can see it right there to indicate we had more wear available, because now any further wear is going to start wearing down into that plow bolt. That bolt is going to be a different hardness than the rest of the material. You know, it's not designed to be a wear surface. You can see I've got a pretty good lip right there. I mean, that's a good 1/10 of an inch or so, and but it's only right here on the very end. That lip disappears further we go. It's really bad on this wear rail right here. You can see we've got an 1/8 of an inch plus, and it decreases as we get to the front of the plunger. Call it the front of the plunger that's going towards the back of the baler. I don't know. Well, I don't think we can get any of these replacement parts. And then we have the other part of it, which are these slide rails that go inside the baler. And this one is just totally rusted out. This was the bottom, just totally rusted out from the back side. It does have wear in it, right? So there's significant wear, but most of the damage was from rust. This is the input side wear rail, and it's okay. It doesn't have a whole lot of wear on it. Then we have pitting and rust and damage all over here on this outboard side. My goal is to just get this thing functional again, and to that end, I'm not going to fix everything. I'm not going to fix everything back to factory. The damage we have inside there on that chassis, I might cut out and patch the very, very worst of it, but most of it is just going to have to ride, right? We'll put in a new wear rail, we'll paint it up, we'll clean it up, we'll paint it up, we'll put in a new wear rail. So I don't want to talk about what I'm going to do too much. I've been thinking about this. Let's actually just start doing it, right? We're going to build up some weld. Right here where that rail is worn down, we're going to build that up with weld and then grind it back down. We'll probably just grind this down smooth and live with it. We'll take this plunger arm off, we'll straighten it a little bit, put a new grease zerk in right there that's missing, and we'll call that basically good on the plunger, right? Let's just get this plunger back to functional, and then we can concentrate on the baler. So let's quite less yakking and more zapping. Let's get this stuff going. All right, got a line of weld in there to fill all those grooves up. Let's grind it down, see how much extra work I made for myself. first pass I filled in a lot of the spots, ground it down to where I'm flush again for the most part. Now I've got to just take some time and go in and fill in these valleys and grind those down smooth again. Just going to take a little bit of time. Patience. That's the watchword for the day. Patience. Just a touch more grinding to do. I'm calling the rest of this done. You can see it's not perfect. I've got little pits in there. Not going in a perfect baler. And for the amount of use I'm going to get out of this baler, this is going to be just fine. So I'm going to finish cleaning this little bit of it up, and I'll call this part of the project done. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm not going to chase those little itty bitty pits in there. It's a lot of work, and there's just not going to be any payback on that amount of work. This is going to slide in there just fine. It's nice and smooth. It's just going to bear right up against the bearing surface in there, and it'll wear in short order. It's going to be great. I have no problems with this part of it. All right, what's next? A little grinder work just to knock off the rust. That's really badly pitted over here. Once again, is it worth cutting that out and replacing it? No, it's not. I'm going to be baling 500. Let's say I get up to 1,000 bales a year. This machine was designed to bale 50,000, 100,000 bales a year. There's just no way I'm going to get that much life out of it, right? By replacing that, I'm not going to get 1 million more bales out of it, not as long as I live. If I were to say get into more of a commercial operation, then I'd get a commercial grade baler. But for a hobby farm, I'm going to put this back together and it's going to work. Anyways, that's a non sequitur. That's a little bit of a aside. I just painted that up. I'm just trying to stop the rust from getting worse. Primered it, painted it after I cleaned it up with the wire wheel and then a grinder. This is the bottom of the offside. The inside rail, it goes right here. It's not an angle iron, it's a piece of flat because we have to have the space for the hay to come in the chamber. Anyways, I just painted the bottom side. The top I'm not going to touch because it's just going to get worn off anyways. So same thing, hit it with the grinder and called it good. So I'm going to let that paint dry and bolt it in. I'm going to do the same to the one good rail I have. I'll put that bad boy in on the bottom. So I'm going to paint the sides that made up against the baler metal, and the inside where it mates up against the plunger, you leave that bare so that it's less material to flake off. Excuse me. Like I said, I just got back from lunch. So, but less material to flake off under operation. So I'm going to hit this back side with the grinder with a flat disc just to knock off the worst of the rust, and then seal it up with some paint to stop it from rusting out any further. Easy peasy.